Nate Williams for Second Out here with promoter Eddie Hearn. It's been a long time, Ed. How have you been?
Good, mate. How are you? Yeah. Long time. Here to see Joe Cordina hopefully become world champion this weekend.
I'd like to talk to you about that, about how this fight got made, because I hear DAZN had a big hand in that, in bringing Ogawa over here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that historically, we had such a great relationship with Sky, but we needed more money to be able to deliver fights like this for our fighters. And historically, you'd have to make it a pay-per-view fight to generate the money, and this isn't a pay-per-view fight. So it's very difficult to build a fighter like Joe Cordina and give him this kind of opportunity. So we're very grateful to be able to do that. He's got a very tough fight ahead of him on Saturday, but he's also got the opportunity of a lifetime in Cardiff, in front of all his fans, and we expect a great atmosphere and a great fight.
How do you think it will go? Predictions?
I think it's a 50-50 fight, because I mean, look, no one rates Joe Cordina more than me. I mean, I remember watching him at York in a Tri-Nations event, and I thought this kid has got world champion written all over him. But he's never boxed at this kind of level before. Doesn't mean he can't, but he hasn't. So to do that in your first challenge for a world title is difficult. And Ogawa is very strong, punches very hard, but I expect it to be a tremendous fight.
And just quickly on Ogawa, it was 5 years ago now. When he did his first world title fight, he failed the drugs test. Is there a bit of air of caution on your side?
No, I think there's testing procedures in place these days that give us that confidence. It is a problem in boxing in general. It's a problem in all sports, I think, not just boxing. But happy that these two guys go into this fight having followed all kinds of guidelines, and we expect a great fight.
And going to Zelfa on the undercard, Zelfa's fighting Kurbanov, somebody's Cordina's fought. How do you think Zelfa deals with him?
I think it's a tough fight. I mean, Kurbanov gave a good account of himself against Joe Cordina, and since then he's gone on to become European champion. A lot of pressure on Zelfa because, of course, he wants the winner. But it's a good fight. It's a dangerous fight for Zelfa Barrett, because he's sort of looking at what might be next, and Kurbanov's very confident. So very good co-main event, and hopefully Joe can win and set up a big fight with Zelfa if he can win as well.
And that's the easiest fight to make, isn't it?
Yeah, there's always a lot of logjam. I mean, you've got Rakhimov, who's the mandatory, you've got Zelfa Barrett, who's waiting in line, you've got Shakur Stevenson, potential undisputed fight. But it's life-changing for Joe. If he can win this fight, he sets himself up for life, and this is what he's always wanted.
And I just wanted to speak to you about, Matchroom is a global business now. And how hard is it, or can you talk us through the process of how you could build cards over multiple fights and multiple dates?
Yeah, that's really the plan. You're trying to create a global, global schedule, global roster of fights around the world. I mean, if you look at it, obviously, we've just been in New York with Taylor Serrano. We've just been in Vegas with Canelo against Bivol. We've just done Milan, we've done Bilbao, now we're in Cardiff, we're in Mexico next weekend, then we're in San Antonio, we've got Australia coming up. There's no one else doing that. So it's very difficult to do, but that's the dreams and the plans that we've got, and we're ready to continue that growth.
And I know you were probably very busy yesterday. Can you give us an update on AJ Usyk too? I hear it's delayed till August now.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, July 23rd is still a date that we're looking at, but you get to a stage where there's 7 weeks to go, and we've got a multi-city media tour to take care of as well. So there's no downside of just kicking it back a couple of weeks, and we're just in discussions now and tomorrow to see what the finalised date will be, and I expect that to become public next week.
And I've seen Robert Garcia is confirmed now as the trainer, and there was a headline that I read, one of the first things Robert said was the attitude needs to change. I'm not sure what quite the attitude he means by that, but
I don't either. I mean, I don't really get involved in the training side. What I know is that he's a great addition. He's a world-class trainer. At the end of last year, I went around with AJ, met a lot of trainers, and he felt that Robert Garcia was a great addition to the team. Obviously, Angel as well is a great trainer, and he's happy with him. So there's good positivity in the camp, and I think that that's the key here. Going in with a clear strategy, positivity, and go and do the business. And I fully expect him to beat Usyk, and I feel like his team is shaping up, and he's very excited.
I was having a chat with Enzo yesterday at the public workout, and obviously you don't believe Tyson Fury's retired, but from his side of things, he said if AJ wins, Fury comes out of retirement. If Usyk wins, Fury stays retired.
Maybe.
You agree?
Maybe. I mean, I don't think anyone really likes to fight Oleksandr Usyk. You know, he's a very good fighter, tough guy to beat. But I think that it all depends, doesn't it, what people want in their life. You know, for Fury, I'd love to see him try and become undisputed. I think he's a great fighter. But maybe he doesn't have the hunger anymore. No one should tell a fighter when's the right or wrong time to hang up the gloves. But I just feel that, you know, he might be in his prime, and certainly if AJ wins, which I believe he will, I'd love to see AJ against Fury.
And just a few more headlines. Leonard Ellerbe, I've been told, says you've wasted $1 billion on DAZN.
Not quite, nowhere near that. And certainly I think when you start any business, you know, you have to penetrate the market. You have to spend money. Of course, the numbers, $1 billion, like that's an 8-year deal, which we're about 3 years into. So I don't, obviously, but. Now, that was interesting. That was 7 minutes, that interview on Showtime, which was great, really. Look, we're trying to make our name in America. You have to understand that everyone within the industry, pretty much over there, wants us to fail. And when I did the same thing in the UK that I'm doing now in America, I remember that when we got the exclusive deal with Sky, the other 4 promoters that were in the game, who were Frank Warren, Frank Maloney, Barry McGuigan and Ricky Hatton, all got together, called a press conference, and they said, we are united together now to take boxing forward. They all put their hands in the middle, you know, like linking their hands. They all hated each other. And after about a month, I don't think they ever spoke to each other again. And all that was the same thing. It was the industry trying to freeze me out. But you have to ask yourself, why do they want to freeze me out? The answer is because we're dangerous and we're good. And I'm not going to just be a snide and be a fake and be nice to people. And I'm going to try and be aggressive. I'm going to try and be outspoken. You know, I mean, when Leonard said, Hearn's got a big mouth. Well, I'm a promoter. That's my job. So let's keep people talking. And even this stuff with me and Leonard is actually good for both of us and good for boxing. But sometimes people take it more personal. And I think he said he wants to stomp or stamp on my head, or something like that, which is quite aggressive. But you know, I never lose a wink of sleep because I've seen it all before. I'm not like some naive 29-year-old or 28-year-old, which I was when I was doing the Aldi Harrison fight. You know, I'm a middle-aged man that's been around and seen a lot in boxing, and I know what I'm doing.
I've seen an interesting comment about, you know, like working with other promoters, sometimes doing it out of spite. Do you reckon it works the same way for the fighters who are trying to match up? Because if you look at AJ Fury, AJ Wilder, do you think they step away from that fight just to spite Joshua? Yes.
I think there's ego in everything. Promoters, managers, I mean, sometimes the managers and trainers are even worse. You know, but definitely ego in promoters, definitely ego in fighters. And sometimes fighters won't give. You know, you get a situation where someone wants to walk first. You know, I say to people, I'm negotiating a huge fight at the moment, and I know that someone wants to be on the A side of the poster, and it's going to piss the other fighter off, and they may walk away from the fight because of that. That's my job, to sit down with them and go, whoa, 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 whoa. Does it fucking matter? Yeah, it does actually. I'm not having it, and that's how fights fall through because of ego. But you got to stand your ground as well. You should never let people run you over.
Keeping with the heavyweight picture, Daniel Dubois fights 11th of June.
Yeah.
If that Fury fight, if you can't tempt Fury out in December, that's probably the next one, isn't it? If Dubois, Bryan wins, whoever. No.
No, I mean, I think AJ would have no problem fighting Daniel Dubois, but I feel like there's 10 fighters more deserving of a shot at the moment than Daniel Dubois. He's a very good fighter, very good talent, but obviously Joe Joyce beat him very convincingly. I would say Joe Joyce is, you know, much more deserving of a world title shot. But again, AJ just wants the biggest fights, and he wants to get active. That's the key. It's been a difficult period over COVID and stuff like that, and waiting for fights. So we want to get this Usyk fight rolling and then keep him nice and active.
Just reeling it through a few updates. Callum Smith, I've seen him training on Buddy McGirt's Instagram. When can we expect?
He'll be on the AJ card. Obviously, I need to message him actually, because he messaged me last night to say, oh, are we delayed? And the answer is I don't know, but he'll be on that card. The WBC have just ordered a final eliminator between him and Bordeleak, so we'll see what happens there. But you know, need to keep him active, and he wants a shot at Bivol, as of course everybody does, and we'll see what happens.
And Chantel Cameron, Calais Reese, can you give us an update?
Hopefully that fight gets made. You know, we had a great tournament for the Undisputed, and hopefully we can get that over the line.
Just to finish up, Queen's Jubilee today.
Yes.
Who would you consider as the boxing royalty?
What are we talking about? The King?
Yeah.
The Queen?
Yeah.
Well, the King's me, obviously. No. The King, it's very difficult between Canelo and AJ, isn't it, for the King? The Queen is Katie Taylor, of course. And everyone plays their part in this crazy boxing world.
I'll leave it there, Eddie. Thank you very much.
Cheers.